Oh,
All right, little intro from Brad there. A little bit of a gurgle, don't know what it was, but it was supposed to be yeah, right? Anyway, another episode of Shoe Booty Sports coming at y'all Wednesday night. We wanted to wait till the after the Liberty Bowl to come at you with this one, because considering we'll be talking about the college football playoff next week, the results from those games. New Year's coming up this weekend. Okay, so Liberty Bowl recap. Holy shit. That's about the only
yeah.
way I can describe it.
My heart rate just like settled down.
It looked like it was going to be a full on blowout. And I thought in the second half, I was like, okay, don't pull an Ole Miss. Like, don't take your foot off the gas like you did in the Ole Miss game. And it looks like essentially that's kind of what they did.
Yeah.
And Browse got cued a little bit, which he tends to do. And I mean, I'm not a Browse hater like a lot of people, but I at the same time I understand the gripe, especially in moments like that, like on at toward the end of the game, it's third and short, and you take KJ out of the play. You need to be winning or losing. He at least smartened up at the end of the game. I tweeted out before that last 2 point conversion. I said, if I'm Arkansas and I'm Browse, I'm winning or losing with the ball in KJ's hands. And yeah, that's what they did. And Kansas should have done the same thing with their quarterback.
Yeah.
We're gonna win or lose with the ball in the guy's hands who's thrown for almost 600 yards tonight. What do? They pull a trick play, and here's the thing: like on the reverse pass, had the guy just kept running, he would have scored. Like he would have scored had he just kept running, but
Yeah.
instead he throws it, 20 feet over the guy's head. I almost said like from my tight end days, what my quarterback then was. I don't want to name the guy. I don't want to put him on blast like that, but you know what I'm talking about. It was like one of those passes. It was, 100 feet over the guy's head and game over. So Arkansas somehow pulled that out. When they went down the field and scored and got the two, I was like, Kansas is going to win this game. I thought for sure. I was like, Kansas is going to win. Arkansas. There's no way Arkansas can come back from this. They found a way. And KJ was named player of the game with like two
Yeah.
and a half minutes left and up 15 points.
Yep.
And he still proved to be the player of the game. He put his cape on. He willed that crew to a win. Obviously, did not have, you could clearly tell Barry Odom was not there because every play, the secondary was pointing at each other, telling each other, like, you're in the wrong spot. No, you need to be over here. Like, nobody knew what they were doing the entire game in the secondary. And that's why this Kansas quarterback, who was okay, he
Yeah.
wasn't that great, threw 550 yards or whatever it ended up being. And yeah, it was literally just, it might have been the craziest game I've ever seen as far as
Made
just
yeah.
lunacy.
0 cents. What'd you think about Dan Mullen?
What,
His
what, like
his
in the
comment.
booth? Just,
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, not spectacular, but I mean, I thought he did okay.
He better hit the film room, improve. He made a bunch of Sherlock statements. It's like, oh yeah. No wonder, yeah, no shit we're in 4 down territory. It's in overtime and we have to get a fucking touchdown. Like,
I was like, what do you
thanks,
mean by
Dan.
Sherlock? I was like, we don't have anybody named Sherlock.
No.
He forgot Drew Sanders. He eventually got it, like Drew Sanders. He kept like saying him. They're missing Bumper Pool and I'm thinking Drew Sanders, like our best player on defense. Which
Yep.
shout out to the guys that did play, by the way, that did play in the
Yeah.
bowl game. Or
They
well,
showed up. I mean,
they
for a half, they showed up.
they did. I mean, McAdoo was very good in spots, especially early. The
Yeah.
targeting, I guess by rule, yeah, it was
He was
targeting.
but hell, he was a runner. He
Well,
was
what?
being spun into the tackle. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no.
No, what are you supposed to do if you're McAdoo? Like
Yeah,
I'm not saying he
he
did
hit him with the
anything.
shoulder pad,
I'm not saying
but
he
yeah,
did anything I wouldn't do. Because what's your
his head was
natural
down.
reaction? Like if yeah, because you're leading with your shoulder too. But by rule, that's technically I think it's a dumb rule. At least as far as I understand why they have it, but at least I think the penalty is too harsh of a rule. I'll put it that way. Like just ejecting the guy for it,
Yeah.
especially something like that. He's just trying to make a play, and he did make a play. And it was a 50-50 thing. Like if nobody would have called it, nobody would have said anything. Nobody would have been complaining about targeting had they
Yeah.
not said anything. But that just showed, I'm not going to say it was biased, but it was clearly
Well,
one-sided officiating tonight.
yeah.
Uh,
Refs did their part.
they
They
did.
made a game out of it.
No, it everybody did their part. Like see,
Yeah.
and that's what was so crazy about it. I
Hogs let off the gas.
the
Showed their
algorithm that had to come together for that to become what it became. Like the chances of all that happening, I'm as likely to start just get out of bed and start walking on my hands tomorrow, just naturally. Just like
yeah.
I think I'll walk on my hands today. Like that's about as likely for that to happen as it was for all of that to come together. It literally took poor one-sided officiating plus poor strategy and offensive play calling plus poor play on Arkansas's part on both sides of the ball for that to become the game that it became. And
So when did they switch up the overtime rules? When did you have to start going for two in the second overtime?
a couple of years ago,
Really?
yeah, I mean
I thought it started in that, in the third overtime. I didn't know they bumped it up by one, but
a couple of years ago. It's you get it. I mean, Arkansas has been in two 7 overtime games themselves. They want to cut down on that. I get it, but man, those were
yeah,
exciting. Those were
those
so
were
exciting.
great.
And we weren't. And but here's the thing: neither team was going to stop the other. It would have been the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't have stopped like Kansas. We couldn't. The defense didn't know what to do the entire game. They were the secondary was pointing around at each other. Even the linebackers like, what do you do? Like they're in this formation. What do we do now? Like if I in the first overtime, I couldn't believe Kansas was running the ball and just for like 1 or 2 yards. I'm like, what are you doing? You've been passing it at will the entire second half. Stop keep doing that. And the one time they take the ball out of their quarterback's hands, now again, had the guy just been smart and kept running, I mean, they'd still be playing maybe, you know. But I think like, yeah, I don't. At least Arkansas did right in the end. Like live or die, with like with the ball in KJ's hands. Like if not saying he's Jordan, but if you're the Bulls, '90s Bulls, and you're down one, are you gonna take a chance with the ball in anybody else's hands if you got one final play? No, you're giving it to MJ. We're gonna win or lose this way, and that's what Arkansas needed to do with KJ. That's what they did, and that's how they ended up winning the game somehow. It should have been it should have been a blowout. It
Yeah.
okay at minimum it should have been it should have been a 15-point game. Had the refs just called it right, Matt Landers was down. The ball
Yeah.
cannot cause a fumble. It can't cause a fumble. There was clear evidence that the ball, like he was down when the ball, when he was down, the ball was still in his hands. Like it came out after he hit the ground and was on the ground. The ball can't cause a fumble. And it was clear. That one angle was clear. And
Yeah.
for
Apparently the
whatever
refs did
reason,
not look at that angle.
see, here's the thing. Here's where they fucked up. I mean, there's just no other way to say it. Here's where they screwed up. Like they kept saying, and Mullen kept saying, but the call on the field was a fumble. It's like, no, this is why you let it play out. So that in case it was a fumble, you can Say, all right, it was clearly a fumble. Here, Kansas has the ball. You go back and look at the replay as they did, but it was clear that it it wasn't a fumble. He was down before the ball came out. And that's where they screwed up. Like, how is there not enough evidence there? It was
Um,
like that's where they screwed up.
dude. Yeah. Yeah. Also, the big hit that made the guy throw up.
When did you see the guy throw it? We're talking about the Quincy
Second,
McAdoo hit,
yeah,
first half,
yeah.
by the way.
Second quarter, like whenever he was laying on the ground, the assistants are over there assisting to him. He's like huddled over on, like hunched over on the ground, and like you can see him like spit up a little bit, and then the coach kind of steps back, and then it's like a couple of spews. I was like, yeah, he got the mess knocked out of him, like
He got
literally.
he took a
He,
shot
dude,
and it was clean.
sudden
It was
sudden stop,
clean.
dude.
It
It
was
was
clean
clean,
by today's
straight
standards
to the chest. Yeah,
with the shoulder. Um, yeah, it was a shot. McAdoo's going to be a stud, and I say going to be because you you're not what you're going to be
yeah,
5 games into being a corner as a true freshman. Now, give him two
exactly.
years. By a junior, he's gonna be elite. He's gonna be a stud. He played very well. They the Kansas quarterback would have thrown for 800 yards tonight if he weren't in there. And McGlothern, he played a good game too. I mean,
He did.
that
Hudson Clark was burnt toast, but
he
yeah,
was. But I mean, Clark's job is essentially just keep the guy in front of you. You know, like that's essentially his job, and he did that for the most part. Now that PI call on McGlothern was another just bullshit call
yeah,
down in the end
it was
zone.
so late,
I-
so late.
Well, it's not
But
that it was late; it was just a bad call.
it
It
was a
wasn't
bad
pass
call.
inter.
But it's like, oh yeah, forgot we're keeping Kansas in this flag.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It wasn't PI at all. It just was. It was Arkansas got hosed tonight when it came to officiating. Now, had they lost the game, it would not have been officiating would have gotten a huge assist. But make no mistake, the Hogs choked. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
they choked. Like I'm still saying they choked even though they won the game because it should have been a 15-point win at worst.
yep.
Yeah, and I got like if Kansas would have won that game, I had what was going through my mind as I'm watching and I'm thinking I'm either going to react two ways. I'm not going to want to. I was going to get on here and say, "Do we even want to talk about this?" I was either not going to talk about it at all and just give a college football playoff preview and this basketball game, which we got the Arkansas LSU basketball game going on right now. Still hate the anthracite uniforms, by the way, but maybe hate's a strong word, but I really don't like them. But yeah, I was either not going to want to talk about it at all, or I was going to rant. Like it was going to be in one extreme or the other. There was no in between. And I'm pretty seasoned. I'm a very seasoned Razorback fan. I know not to get worked up over these guys because they're going to do something to disappoint you eventually. Like when they beat Ole Miss and then lose one to Missouri. But hey, man,
Uh,
7-6, and they got the bowl game. You win your last game of the year.
yeah,
Pittman's 2-0 in bowl games. KJ's 2-0 in bowl games. 7-6. You at least left with one trophy game, and it's the last game of the year. So it leaves a decent taste in your mouth heading into next season. You got KJ coming back. You got Rocket coming back. Uh, it's there's reason to be optimistic. They're like 21st in recruiting. They'll take advantage of the transfer portal to the best that they can. Plenty to be optimistic about. But at the same time, like I said, I think Pittman can get Arkansas to where they can be an 8-win team, possibly year in, year out, with your occasional 5-win seasons. Let's just
you
don't
went
dip.
the other way on that one with the occasional 5 win, not the occasional 10 win.
No, you'll get both. No, the 10 wins are few and far between. You're going to get like a 10-win season, maybe like once every 10 years. I mean, let's just let's just be real. You're going to get a 5-win season, probably
Two,
two.
two out of the 10.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So I mean, you're going to get more 5-win seasons than 10-win seasons at Arkansas. In this league, you just are. Okay, they just showed the stats. 544 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 rushing for the Kansas quarterback. KJ 287, two
Golly.
touchdowns, 14 carries, a buck 30, and 2 touchdowns. So let's see. So KJ did throw a pick. It which by the way, did you think that was pass interference at the end of the half? The end of the
Talking about
first half
yeah.
when Arkansas was about to score and KJ threw a pick at the goal line essentially.
I say yeah. I didn't watch the replay, so I was assembling furniture. So
Mm. Well, everybody's griping pass interference. I thought it was actually just a good play on the ball. I didn't think it was pass interference. Um, I didn't think it was a bad throw by KJ either. Like at first, I was like, "Why the hell did you throw that? You threw it right to him." And then I looked at the replay. KJ threw it essentially where he was supposed to throw it. The receiver has to go to the ball, but the defender came to the ball. He beat the receiver to the ball. Um, and just out positioned him and outworked him to the ball. So it's really on the receiver. I still don't necessarily like the call. It's like, KJ could run it. He could
mhm.
have run it because you still had a timeout. So not crazy about it. But hindsight, and you were still up 31-13 at the break. I still felt pretty good.
No.
But yeah, man, gosh, what a game. Jeez. And
Why
I
did we
and
not call timeout at the end of the at the end of regulation with
why did
21
we
seconds left?
why did we do
Why
so
don't
many things? Like why did we and I kept thinking like why are you not playing to win the game? You can move the ball with KJ.
yeah,
Why would you play for overtime against a team that's just toasting your secondary? Like the secondary was just gassed and they could
they had
not.
all the momentum.
Yeah, when your defense can't stop a nosebleed, why do you want to go into overtime with that team? It just there were so many things wrong with that game and how it was handled. Uh, okay, hypothetically, what would have happened if Arkansas would have won? Like Pittman's approval rating, there would have been some that have been like, well, it's not. This wasn't even the same team out there and all that. I don't give a shit. It's still a bowl game. It's still our guys. It's still the Razorbacks. Still the last game of the year. The game means something, whether
Hmm.
people want to make excuses about it or not. It's not like Kansas isn't dealing with the same thing or other teams. How much would Pittman's approval rating have dropped had they lost that game in that fashion? It's one thing to lose, but to lose like that,
Man, I don't know. Your defensive coordinator just left, and yeah, you had some people leave. I mean, yeah, he takes some heat definitely, but at the end of the day, they'll just be like, well, it's shit season.
everybody
Just move
deals
on.
with that though. Everybody deals with coordinators leaving. Everybody's dealing with transfer portal bullshit. You still don't go out and
Dude,
lose like that.
it would have been icing on top of the cake that was this season.
To me, it would have been like I kept thinking, I was like, holy shit, it's gonna be like Brett Bielema's downfall. Like choking to Missouri and then choking
Oh
to
yeah.
Vautech in that bowl game back to back. That started the downfall. That started the approval rating for Bielema just dropping. And of course, that led to a 4-8 season where he was fired at the end of the season, and rightfully so. That
He
to
didn't
I
even make it off the field,
and
man.
he shouldn't have. Like I've been on record with this. As soon as they hit 700 yards of offense, they should have fired him during the
Yeah.
game.
Hand
During
me
the
your
game.
whistle, coach.
All right, you're done. 700, you're done. Like the Tourette's girl on TikTok. You're done.
Don't know
Like
what you're talking about.
you got to get on TikTok, man. It's pretty entertaining. I don't do videos. I just watch them. But I just like the way she says that. You're done. That's how I would have
Yeah,
felt about
LSU's getting
Bielema.
away with kickballs. That's cool.
We got a game though. 42 all. 7.5 minutes left in the second half. Um, I saw Devo made a shot or no, it was during this half. Because Devo's not the most accurate guy shooting. He doesn't have the best shot. I like him on our team. Just cringe every time he shoots. But we got a game. LSU's quietly 11-1 right now. Bad turnover by Jordan Walsh. Leads to an LSU bucket. Still 7 minutes to play, so and we'll see how that goes. Okay. All right, let's sneak in the college football playoff preview here. All right, who are our picks and who do we have winning it all? Let's just go ahead and do that. We'll pick again, in a championship game, but let's just go ahead and throw out our picks now.
Man, as I don't know, as good as Michigan finished, I've got to say they're the favorite over TCU, and you got to go with Georgia until somebody shows you different. And you got to go with Georgia if it's them and Michigan face off. But I don't know. I heard some crazy person talking on the radio today, like, "Oh, Ohio State has the best chance besides Georgia." They're like, if they go up against Michigan for a second time, surely they're going to win. Like, okay, but they're not going to get past Georgia.
I can understand the argument of if you're Ohio State and you beat Georgia and you carry that momentum into the championship game.
Yeah.
I could see that being an advantage, but you got manhandled by Michigan at your own place. There's no reason for me to think that they won't do that again. I know it's really hard to beat a team twice. Georgia, Alabama proved that because Alabama handled Georgia about as well as Michigan handled Ohio State this year, and Georgia beat them second time around. So that could happen. I
Yeah.
get the argument, but I'm still picking Georgia. I'm still picking Michigan, and I'm picking Georgia in the championship game. Stetson's gonna. It's a little too fairy book or like fairy tale uh, for Stetson to go out like that. Like it's if you wrote it in Hollywood, they would say this is too it's too predictable and maybe not likely. But that's the favorite. I mean, go from walk on to being one of the rare back to back national champions, and to go out like that, pretty cool for him. I'm rooting for that. And I'm not a Georgia fan, but I like him. And I don't know, I just want to see some good football. I don't care that much at the end of the day.
Uh,
Um, but our Hogs won, so that was the only game it's the only game this bowl season. I was like, okay, this is my team who I want to win. I mean, I want to see Clemson win, but those are the only two.
Hell, that was the first complete bowl game I've watched so far.
Um, I guess same. Yeah, yeah, complete start to finish. I'd have it on. There were some pretty good finishes in others, but I love see, and that's the thing. I guess that's the other thing why I have such a hard time wondering why players don't want to play in these. And because we grew up like when bowl season came around, like oh, like kid in a candy store. As a kid,
Yeah.
it's a new game every night, and
Yeah.
they were all pretty exciting, and
Odd
everybody played in them,
matchups, typically don't see them play all that often.
and
But
everybody played in them. Like my favorite bowl memory ever, and it probably always will be, unless something drastic changes, is the 2000 Cotton Bowl. Cedric Cobbs in Arkansas just running all over, just pounding Texas. Just beating them into submission. Nut doing
mhm.
the horns down thing after the game. I mean, it was a full on ass kicking. And like Matt Jones, I think was a freshman. That was just a fun man. That was just a fun game all around. Watched it at my grandma and papa's in Lonoke when they were living in Lonoke. What New Year's Day? Oh, that was a good memory. This one will not live on as far as a good memory, but it will live on as far as okay. This was the craziest
Mhm.
Arkansas bowl game I've ever seen. I don't see any way that it gets topped.
I would like to see it get topped. That'd be really entertaining, but
I
not
I
by Hogs, not by the Hogs
say
or
I
any
don't. Yeah,
any
not.
game that the Hogs will be involved in. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say I don't want to sit through that again. Like that was too much. I don't drink to excess anymore and haven't for multiple years now.
that
But
made me
I
think about it.
I full on like felt like I needed a really stiff one, like after like on the rocks type of drink. And I'm a beer Merlot guy, but yeah, I was like I've had that Grey Goose bottle sitting in there for 2 years now. Almost felt like I needed a double with ice after
Oh,
that. Yeah, that was something else, man. Plenty to talk about. It was like we're going off script tonight, but we don't need one after that tonight. What are your
and
thoughts on the anthracite? Have you said it before? We're watching the Razorback LSU basketball game now because apparently one Razorback game
I
wasn't
don't like.
enough to
Yeah, I
test
don't
our
like
blood
them.
pressure. I don't either. Uh,
They just don't look like us. Like,
it's not
I don't
Arkansas, yeah. But it's the same with Tennessee and their black unis, in football. I'm like, that's not Tennessee, you know. All right,
Mhm.
47-44 LSU. Oh, that was a good pass by Devo. We may be behind. I'm guessing Jordan Walsh has. I mean, I'm sure must have said this. Like, you're going to have to step up with Trevin Brazil out for the year,
You see that?
and looks like he's done that. Who made
Yeah,
that?
Davis, Dio.
Devo made that three.
Yep.
Okay, right on.
Did you
See,
see
it's
that?
a see, it's an insane night.
Did you see
Arkansas
the
almost
dunk
blew.
though that Walsh had though?
I
Like
didn't.
in where he pretty much just Supermaned it. Dwight Howard it just threw it down.
Whatever
But
works, whatever gets it in
yeah,
there. But that's the kind of night it's been, man. That crazy ass Liberty Bowl, Devo's hitting threes. It's I don't know, man. There's a full moon or something going on right now. I don't know. I didn't realize LSU was 11-1.
I didn't either. I don't know. Hmm.
While this is
Yeah.
going on, quick update as far as
Hell, didn't Kentucky lose tonight?
I have
They
no
got beat by
idea.
Mizzou. Yeah, they got beat by Mizzou
Okay.
at Mizzou.
Kentucky's not as good. They've dropped down a notch, man. They've like, okay, who do you have winning the SEC in basketball? Like, who would be your pick right now? I'm not picking Kentucky.
Alabama or
I would pick.
Arkansas.
I would pick. I would pick.
I'd pick
I,
Alabama since they're healthy.
I would
They've
pick
got all their
Alabama with. I would still pick Alabama even if Brazil was healthy, but
and Nick Smith
with him not healthy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, and the Nick Smith thing. He's out indefinitely, right? Like whatever
yeah,
that means.
for knee management.
I mean, you
Which yeah,
see,
take all the time you need, but
yeah. I mean, we need him.
yeah, he needs to get back out there or he'll be staying here another year.
No, he's not staying another year. He's going
Even if he
regardless.
Oh yeah, even if he sits out the whole season.
Yeah. I mean, he's like the number 3. He's a lottery pick prospect at least. And of course, that's the lead headline on ESPN. Um, Arkansas loses 25-point lead, wins in 3 OT in Liberty Bowl.
Sweet.
At least they won, man. Oh, I'd be in a and I'm not gonna let something I can't control ruin like my evening or something like that. But that would have really tested that theory, you know. Like my
Yeah, I would
tone
have
would be
probably
a
laughed like a crazy man for about 15 minutes and then just
yes,
had to go walk it off.
just like full on Joker, right? Like
Yeah.
Joaquin's Joker.
Hmm.
It would have been similar to that, yeah. Okay, well let's touch up on
It's
some NFL
pretty
stuff.
close to that right now. Just thinking about the game.
Yes, but we won, so that does help a lot.
Yeah.
All right, NFL action. Um, Jaguars taking over the AFC South, that what
Yeah,
they
they
are?
have a chance as long as they beat the Titans in the final week. They're in the playoff,
Well,
which is
and
crazy.
they're leading the division right now. I mean, I don't know that anybody's played better than Trevor Lawrence has since week, 10, 9 or 10. Has anybody played better than him? I mean, like seriously.
No,
Uh Eagles Cowboys. I did catch some of that. That was Christmas Eve, right? Yes.
yeah, bunch of games Christmas Eve.
Yes. I didn't catch see that's the thing. Didn't catch a lot of pro football this week.
Hell, they all played at the same time. Like almost every game kicked off at noon on Saturday.
Well, and we did family stuff from Saturday to Monday. So I was doing family stuff literally from Saturday to Monday. The most pro football I watched was that Eagles Cowboys game, and that's because I was cooking and like getting ready to go. And I just kept looking at the score. I was like, okay, this isn't on Gardner Minshew because they put up 40 points or whatever it was. So you
Hmm.
can't blame him. Can't blame him for them losing that one. Oh wow, okay. Bills Bengals Monday. That'll be a good one. And both still have something to play for. So wow. Okay, what bowl game did okay, it was the Outback Bowl that they won last year, right? Against Penn State, Arkansas.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had COVID that during that game. That was the start of my a little COVID trip, quarantine. One of the few things I got to look forward to. Now it was, I mean, yeah, it was a few things, but yeah, that I was like, okay, I get to look forward to this while I'm just chilling in this little room. But that's over now, fortunately. All right, 49-49, 3:46 left. Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of pro football this weekend, this past weekend. All right, so how was your Christmas, by the way? Let's work that in just for
It was good.
funsies.
It was good. Yeah, I think the only thing, if I could improve one thing, it'd be not sleeping on a hideaway bed at my sister's place. A little
Yeah,
bit
that
more
doesn't sound.
comfortable sleeping situation. Like I could have slept better, but other than that, it was fun.
Wait, so were you in Tulsa?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got to stay local at least. So I got to sleep in my own bed. Very, very cold
Oh yeah.
Thursday night. Gosh, crazy cold. Now it was in the 60s today. Much more pleasant day. And I'm like a fall winter guy. Like I'm cool with it. But I have never in my life been that cold than I was Thursday night. Like that
Did you
was
do the
insane.
bowl and water trick?
No, I was just trying to stay inside and not. I had to be outside Thursday night because I had to check my mail and look at something like under my car or like on my car. And I was out there for about 10 minutes and I was as bundled up as about as bundled as I could be. And about 10 minutes went by and it hit me that like my brain's not working as well as it normally would. I got so freaking cold, I couldn't think straight. Like that's how cold it was out. Because it was, I think, 6 degrees at the time, and it was a wind chill of like negative a billion or so, whatever it was. But
Hmm.
the following morning when I went to work, it was 2 degrees. It was 2 degrees outside when I got to work, and couldn't shower. Could not shower because my shower had frozen. Like you could turn my hot water thing on, but nothing came out, and the cold one wouldn't even move. Like it was just frozen solid. But by the following evening or late afternoon, I guess it was Saturday, it came on and started working again. So I did luck out there. Alabama beating Mississippi State in hoops right now, by the way, 55-42. 10 minutes to play in that one on the SEC network. I don't know that has Mississippi State lost a game. Now they haven't played anybody. Like
Couldn't tell you.
yeah, their conference or non-conference schedule was pretty weak. It was like Arkansas's during like the Mike Anderson years. They just didn't play anybody. Alabama's played as tough of a non-conference schedule as you can. Gonzaga beat Eastern Oregon 120-42. So that's how Gonzaga's conference play is going.
Wow.
Yeah, like See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know that they really benefit by like going to like a tougher conference because I mean they have a pretty solid non-conference schedule like
And
that. I
talk
mean
about
that
a terrible pass.
yes, but I mean that's Devo though. I mean you're gonna get that with him.
Well,
That
no,
was
it
D.
wasn't Devo's pass. It was LSU's inbound pass. Like,
Oh well, sorry Devo, my mistake. Yeah, that
mm-mm.
was a pretty good pass by the way from Devo. So definitely my mistake. Yep, Missouri beats Kentucky 89-75. See that's the thing. Kentucky's 19th in the country. It's they've dropped down a notch, man. Like 10 years ago, they were the most they were like up there with Duke, right? At least
Yep.
regarded that way. But Duke will fall off some too without Coach K. This is getting to be interesting. We're not going to get to finish this game here on the here live streaming like this or streaming like this, but yeah, 51-51, 2.5 minutes. All right, who do you have winning this game? Let's just go ahead and make a pick, and then we'll see if we're right.
Go with Hogs.
I'll take Arkansas.
Shocker.
Watch us screw up. Yeah, watch us
Oh
lose
yeah.
just because we both said. I almost
Three.
wanted to pick LSU just because of that.
How the hell is that a
Who knows, man? Are you doing anything for New Year's, by the way? Because it'll
no
be
no
20.
plans yet.
I'm gonna say it'll be 2023 next time we come on. So it'll be a completely new year then. I get to do the New Year's joke as we sign off here that I'll wait and do. But no, I'll be spending New Year's in this recliner most likely and watching the college football playoff. Like that's how I party on New Year's Eve now. I'm good on going out. Again, don't drink it to excess anymore. So not interested in a $9 beer or $100 ticket to some, you know,
Overhyped party.
party to be around people I don't want to be around anyway. No, I'm good. I'm good right here.
You
Totally good with that. All right, LSU up 2 minutes to play. Jordan Walsh with the three. That was actually a pretty good shot. I'm not mad about it even. Gosh. You know how I feel about that. Devo shooting three, missing on the front of the rim.
yeah, you're about 3 seconds ahead of me. 4 seconds.
But then that
Dang
happens.
it. Still 2 minutes left. Still plenty of time.
Man, that was a foul, wasn't it? Well, we don't have
Surely.
2 minutes. We're about to have to sign off of here. But it's been fun. What a day. We'll just
What a day.
what a day, and it's not over yet. Uh, yeah, hopefully Arkansas can pull this one off. But Wild Liberty Bowl, that'll obviously be the headline here. But I guess we should probably okay, Ole Miss getting down 26-7 at the half of that one. Okay. Who
That's
knows?
rough.
They might have
That's
another
rough.
yeah, they might have a comeback like Kansas did. We'll see. But until then, we're gonna get out of here. We'll see y'all next year. That was my New Year's joke. Couldn't wait to do it. All right, we're
Okay.
out of here, y'all. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad. See you next year.
Aha. Deuces.